Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. Today I've got a cool technique that I remember seeing Patrick Sterling showcase in a past presentation of his. And I know Cameron Tim has also talked about this as well, but I don't know if I've ever seen a dedicated video showing off this technique. So let's get straight into it. If you didn't know, in Fusion and in version 20 and beyond now, DaVinci Resolve, they have guides. Oop, would you look at that? And if you want, you can right click anywhere in your preview window here in Fusion, go to guides, snap to guides. And then when I move around my center point, I can have it snap to some of the guides I've set up. Now, as far as I'm aware, and at this current point in DaVinci Resolve, you can't add new guides in the Fusion page. But if I were to go back up to the edit page, toggle on my guides here, turn on my rulers as well, we can go ahead and add in some new guides to play with. And if you right click on a particular guide, you can remove them. But that is not the point of today's video. Because if we hop back into Fusion, sometimes this isn't enough. So check this out. You're gonna have to bear with me because it is a little bit convoluted, but it's pretty cool. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add in a background node. Add it anywhere in your composition. I'm gonna go ahead and add it to the upper left corner over here, and we're not gonna connect it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna preview it over here on our left viewer. So I'm gonna hit 1 on our background node here. Let's go ahead and refit this in. And what I'd like you to do if you're following along is to change this to any color besides black. So you could do a green, but I'm just gonna go with nice bright white. So check this out. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the image tab on our background node here. Boop. Uncheck auto resolution. And what you're gonna wanna do is make this very small. And I mean very, very small. And what I would recommend doing is making this a number divisible by your aspect ratio. So if you didn't know, on 1080p timelines, the width is 1920 by 1080. That aspect ratio is 16 by 9. Now, if you missed it, it doesn't look any different here on the left viewer. But if I were to zoom out, you can see at the upper right-hand corner, it says 16 pixels by 9. Right click in your left viewer in the window itself, the preview window itself, right click, go to options, show pixel grid. This guy right here, right click options, show pixel grid. And now we have a nice grid here on the left. Now this is great, but it's not super helpful to us yet because, how do we use this? You might be thinking ahead and going, okay, so now do we connect it somewhere? Nope, we're not gonna connect it. Leave it as is. The last step you're gonna wanna take is go up to the upper right-hand corner, click those 3 dots up there and turn on snap to pixel. And this is an area where Fusion is very cool. Because most properties are normalized, meaning they're not set in pixel values, they're on a scale of 0 to 1, I can take the preview of the merge node over here and snap it to different points on the grid. So if I wanted to set up 2 rectangles over here that are spaced evenly across at the same height, well, it's very easy to do so. Could you type in those center properties? Of course, but this is a very visual, interactive way of controlling your shapes and positioning. How stinking cool is that? But wait, there's more. Well, kind of. There's a couple things that we can do to make this more dynamic and so that we can save it and use it forever. For instance, what we can do is we can go to this background node here, and instead of having hard values for our width and height, we can do something like this. Now we're gonna go ahead and get dirty. If you don't like weird stuff in Fusion, it's too late. You're at this point in the video, you have to stay and watch. What if there was a way for the Fusion page to automatically know what resolution to set? And by the way, you don't actually have to use 16 by 9, so you can change this to be whatever you would like. It's just not gonna translate 1-to-1 on the right viewer because the aspect ratios are different. Well, we can do something like this. I'm gonna right click on the width here and go to expression. And we can use a built-in set of variables in the Fusion page to grab that. And that looks something like this. And I will leave this in the description or put it on screen, or I'll do it somewhere so that you guys have access to it. But it's Comp:/GetPrefs Comp.FrameFormat.Width. And what this expression says is, hey, go ahead and grab what the resolution of our timeline is. I can enter, and there you go, 1920. Now it's not 16, but we're gonna get there. Again, stay with me now. We're gonna right click and hit expression again, or just enter in the equal sign and then hit enter to bring up our expression field. I'm gonna copy this variable up here. Oop, paste it down here, and I missed a C, I knew it. And then we're gonna change the width to height. Now, if I were to zoom out, we can't see our pixel grid because we got a lot of them. We got a lot of them. So now how do we get this to be really small? We've essentially reset up our starting resolution. So how do we shrink it? Well, what we can do is we could add in a new control. So again, if this seems like a lot, just try to follow along. But the more practice you get doing stuff like this, the more comfortable you will be in Fusion. Right click at the top bar here of our background. Go to Edit Controls. Let's add our name for our new control, and you can name it whatever you'd like. I'm just going to name it capital N. We want this to be a number control, and I want it to be on the Image tab, not on the Color tab, not on the Settings tab, and on a new User tab, the Image tab. I would like this to be a slider control. And we do want this to be a positive value. So I'm going to have it go from 0 to, let's do 120. And because we're going to be dividing by this variable, we probably don't want our bottom value to be 0, right? We don't want to divide by 0. Let's go ahead and set this up as, I don't know, we can just do like 0.1. We're also going to want to change our default value or our starting value to be, we'll just start at 120. You could always set this to be a different number, but we'll just start at 120 and hit OK. And would you look at that? Now we have a new variable over here on the edit page that goes from 120 to 0.1. So what we can do is now go over to this expression, drag your mouse over to the N and hit divided by N. Oh, would you look at that? And then divided by N. Huh, would you look at that? And now let's say, for instance, I would like a little bit more pixel density on our grid. Well, I can start bringing this value down. And let's do a number like 60. Well, now we're going to 32 and 18. Or if I want a lot of granularity, well, I could do something like 10. Now we have a very big snappy grid. The last thing I would recommend doing is setting this up and saving it as a preset, which will take 2 seconds to do. I'm gonna hit F2 to rename our node to, I don't know, we'll call it Snap Grid. You can probably come up with a more clever name than I did. Okay? Right click, settings, save as. Save this somewhere accessible. I'm going desktop. You could go downloads. You can go in that weird folder that you try to hide from everybody. Doesn't matter to me. Hit save. My favorite way to get to the macros folder is to go up top to the upper menu, go Fusion, Macro Editor, click the 3 dots on your little macro editor here, hit open. This will give you in the right direction. You can see I have a lot of macros already saved. So what you need to do is just put your .settings file here. So this is the way I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hit Control-C to copy that path, close this, open up my file explorer. So now I have it here separate of DaVinci, and then I will go to where my .settings file is, cut, and I'm gonna put it in my folder and paste it in here. Now what I can do is I can hit Control Space, look for Snap Grid, paste that in, preview it on the left, and voila. And I can go over to my Image tab and change our pixel density on the fly. You could also put this control over here on the color page. It really doesn't matter. But either way, hope this was helpful, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.